Hi, everybody. This is Carrie, and I just wanted to share with you some work that I've been doing during the summer to figure out how to teach reading online. So, I'm going to share with you a Google slide deck, and in the slide deck, there is a template, and there will be more templates as I create them for teaching guided reading online. Let me just walk through a little bit of the what's online here for you. So first, you start out. There's the ever popular Bitmoji Classroom. And one of the things I like about the Bitmoji Classroom is when you hit these things in the picture. So if you were to hit the books, they would actually take you to a live link related to that. And so I could see a teacher using this Bitmoji Classroom to create a classroom library because your students could hit on a book. So I put a picture here of Sweetie, one of my favorite books now. You could put multiple picture book covers on a bookshelf. And then when students hit them, they could go to a read aloud, someone reading that text aloud to the students. So this one goes to a Padlet that I was creating with some students last year. And on any of these books, when you hit the link, it takes you to a video of someone reading that book. Every year. Sometimes there is a little bit of a commercial, unfortunately. Okay, so that's just a little overview of a Bitmoji Classroom, why it might be useful to create. Then the majority of the slides in this deck are about how to teach guided reading. So I'm working through and I'm creating a series of slides for each of the guided reading templates that you learned or will learn how to use when you read the next steps forward in guided reading in Education 3640. So generally what I'm trying to do is for any part of that lesson plan template for Jane Richardson. So she has a section on the pre-A lesson plan that is about learning names. And so here we go. I'm creating a slide so that you could do that digitally with students. And the idea here is that you could then pull these Google Slides because they're shared with you. You could pull them, adapt them, change them in any way, delete some so that you're not using all of them necessarily, but it would maybe provide a good starting point for folks. I have some suggestions for when you're adapting these lesson plans, things to think about. Two things, or one thing I would say you really have to do anytime you're making a lesson to present online is audition that lesson with somebody in whatever virtual mechanism you're going to use with your class. So if you're using Zoom or Collaborate or Canvas, get on Canvas with a friend or your cooperating teacher and actually walk through all the slides in your PowerPoint because some of those learning management things change aspects of your lesson. So, for example, you can end up with reversed letters if you're not careful, especially when you're recording yourself. And then also, sometimes you don't realize how small your text is actually going to be on the student end. You know, you might be sharing a whole PowerPoint slide, but on the student's end, they might not see it full screen. So you got to be really careful about this. Okay, so I also put two slides here with some good resources. This is a page of resource links for teaching digital guided reading. And then this page is just a couple of links about how to do some technology manipulation. One of my best discoveries this summer was this young lady at Pocketful of Primary. She makes these really short, very focused YouTube videos. And actually, it's pretty much what I use to create the slides in this deck. All right, so what you'll see on this slide deck is here's pre-A guided reading. So all of the slides that have a green background are elements within a pre-A guided reading lesson. And again, I wouldn't expect you to do all of these with kids, but you might want to do some of them, right? So if you're doing phonemic awareness practice and you're asking kids to do sound matching, you could have them, you could put a target picture in here and say, look, I want you to think of any of these pictures that start like monkey. Does man start like monkey? And then on Zoom, you can share the cursor with the student and then they can drag it in there. So let's see. Um, there's I didn't want to put actual texts in here because that's a copyright violation. So I made my own little text, but I could read this with students by holding the cursor and then asking them to read as I point. You can do the book introduction just like you did in 3640, but there are the pages of the book. There's a cut up sentence. And then at the end, these are young kids. You might want to have some kind of brain break for them. And I actually think that these brain breaks would happen, during the lesson to kind of break things up. But I just reference them for you here at the end, and you can cut and paste them however you want to. This is one set of different videos. I think I might just make a slide with one video and link it directly and then post it in my lesson there. But these two slides are for you guys to kind of pick and choose from. And then, if you come up with a quick game that you can do online to just kind of break things up, and kids could play the game while they're standing up, or the game could be very physical, like a Simon Says kind of game. So, okay. As you can see, some of my slides are under construction. These templates take a long time to make. And that's why I'm kind of trying to create these so that I could share them with you. And then once you have the template, so for example, back to this sound matching board, once you have this template, then you can go in and change these pictures. And that's not as much work, right? Just a matter of changing 6 pictures, which on Google Slides is so easy, right? If I wanted to pick a different picture for this, I'm just going to insert and then image and then search from the web and then just go over here. And so my next search might be T words. So, I could just pick, I don't know, spinning top. And I get my image and I can drag it right in here. So it's super easy to use on Google Slides. Anything you can create in Google Slides, you can translate into PowerPoint slides. So anyway, I am just offering these to you as a way to get started with teaching guided reading online. And feel free to use anything that's useful and disregard anything that is not. If you find really interesting stuff that you're using to teach reading this term online, I would be so appreciative if you would email me your finds, and that way I can start archiving and sharing those as well. All right, good luck this term.